The Galactic High Council's final message to Earth was simple: leave, or be erased. The humans smiled politely, nodded, and vanished. That was 32 standard cycles ago. Today, their universe just knocked on our door, and it's not asking to come in. The chamber was too polished to feel real. All glass arcs and marble veins, built to intimidate lesser species. It was the Galactic High Council's idea of civility, massive, cold, and echoing. In the center stood a man, straight-backed in a dark suit, hands folded behind him. No armor. No weapon. Just a calm, unreadable expression. Ambassador Daniel Reese of Earth waited while a dozen alien species argued about his planet like it was a broken pet. Humanity's aggression is well documented, hissed Counselor Vrex of the Arvax Dominion. His voice slithered across the chamber like oil. Your kind destabilized 14 neutral systems in less than a century. You turned a mining moon into a railgun test site. You colonized a planet, inside a black hole's time dilation field. Reese smiled politely. In our defense, the railgun worked. Whispers rippled through the delegates. Some were amused. Most weren't. Ambassador Reese, spoke the Kothel elder, her voice deep and serene like wind through stone. Do you understand the gravity of these accusations? I do, Reese said. Gravely. Another ripple. This one colder. A translucent being named Zalaku flickered in frustration. You're being removed from galactic space. Effective immediately. No ships. No trade. No signals. Earth is exiled. Reese blinked once. Is there an appeal process? No. Then I assume you'll be revoking our council subscription? Shame. I was rather fond of your war crime guidelines. You mock this court, growled Vrex. I assure you, Reese said, still smiling. This is me being respectful. The chamber fell silent. The final vote cast, the verdict sealed. Humanity was officially unwanted. Reese turned toward the council as if preparing to leave, then paused. Before I go, just a note for your records. He stepped forward. No one stopped him. You locked the doors. We didn't. You burned the bridge. Not us. Remember that. He offered a slight bow, not low enough to be submissive, just enough to make it diplomatic. We'll find our own way. And with that, Daniel Reese walked out of the chamber like a man late for dinner, not someone representing a species just erased from the stars. Earth, Sol System, 12 hours later. The control tower overlooking the North Atlantic fold array buzzed with quiet urgency. Engineers ran diagnostics, AI assistants whispered through headsets, and high-ranking officials stood behind tinted glass, watching. Marshal Elaine Rourke leaned against the rail, arms crossed, chewing the edge of a stylus. Confirmation? She asked. A tech nodded. Transmission verified. We've been banished. Full blockade enacted. They think we're gone. Rourke smirked. Good. Behind her, a wide wall monitor flickered to life, displaying a sprawling map of the Sol system. But it was warped, folded at impossible angles. Dozens of deep space nodes pulsed red. Begin Phase 2, Rourke said. Activating Eidolon, replied the technician. With a silent tremor, the fold array powered up. The space around Earth twisted. Satellites blinked out. Mars shimmered, like a reflection on disturbed water. One by one, human outposts vanished, relocated, though no one outside Earth would know where. Earth didn't retreat. It vanished from the galaxy. 3 months later, Outer Rim Observation Post, Alien Territory. Scout Captain Kershaw of the Telend Confederacy was bored. Monitoring a dead zone where Earth used to be wasn't exactly a fast track to promotion. Since the exile, no pings, no transmissions, no movement. Just silence. Until today. Captain, his sensor tech chirped. You'll want to see this. A signal pulsed in from the void. No origin point. Just appearing. It was human-coded, old Terran encryption, but carrying a new signature. Evolving, complex, unreadable. What's it say? The tech frowned. I think it's a message. Audio only. Kershaw narrowed his eyes. Play it. The voice was unmistakable. Daniel Reese. We're doing well. Hope the galaxy is too. Just dropping by to say, we didn't disappear. We upgraded. No hard feelings. Oh, and don't come looking for us. You won't like what you find. The signal cut. Every console in the post went dark for 10 seconds. When they rebooted, a new file was embedded in their system. One image, a solar system that didn't match any known chart, with a single phrase beneath. Home is where we rewrite the laws. Kershaw stood still for a long time. Then, quietly, they didn't build a colony. They built a reality. Council chamber, 2 weeks later. Emergency session. The chamber was louder now, more nervous. Ambassadors bickered, theories flew. Was it a threat? A bluff? A malfunction? Only Elder Kothel remained silent, eyes closed. Finally she spoke. You all feared what humanity might do. You gave them exile, and in doing so, gave them freedom. You think we empowered them? Rex spat. She nodded. No eyes. No oversight. No treaties to bind them. They disappeared, and time moved differently where they went. They've had centuries, perhaps more. Zaliq, still trembling, whispered. Then what do we do? Kothel opened her eyes. We wait. Because whatever they've become, they are not coming back as guests. Back on Earth, or what Earth became. In the dark between dimensions, a new structure formed, vast, silent, infinite. Not a station. Not a planet. A domain. And within it, humanity thrived. No longer guests in someone else's galaxy. No longer bound by the Council's fear. They weren't returning for war. They were building something bigger. And the galaxy had no idea what was coming next. The stars in the new sky didn't shine. They shimmered, slow, rhythmic pulses like breathing lungs stitched into space. Time was different here. Light bent oddly, gravity hummed like background music, and physics wasn't so much a rule as a suggestion. It wasn't just a new region of the galaxy. It was a human-made dimension. They called it the Expanse. Beneath that unreal sky, the first true structure of Earth's breakaway civilization stood, Eidolon Core. A lattice of obsidian alas and quantum mesh, hovering in the void, half organic, half machine, all human. It pulsed with life, city, lab, fortress, and archive combined. Inside its central chamber, Marshal Elaine Rourke studied a massive rotating hologram, Earth, re-engineered and repositioned, now tethered to a cluster of artificial stars built for balance and cover. She sipped coffee, black and bitter, while her eyes followed hundreds of tiny light trails spiraling around the new homeworld. Report, she said. Help. And the AI councils? You are. Row. She turned to the window. There was no glass, just a force field holding back an unreal cosmos. Any noise from the old galaxy? Some, Merrick said. They're watching. Nervous. Good. One of their probes tried to scan the rift gate. And? It melted. Rourke smiled. Not cruelly. Just satisfied. Across Eidolon Core, deep within subsection Theta, the real architect of the Expanse was having lunch out of a paper bag. His assistant Juno, a bioengineered posthuman with 3 doctorates and a sarcasm algorithm, glanced over. You're aware you're technically one of the most dangerous men alive, right? Mem. Reese said through a mouthful of sandwich. But I'm also the guy who invented the office nap pod, so I think it balances out. You really think they bought it? Juno asked. The whole poor exiled Earthlings, licking our wounds in the dark act? Reese grinned. Oh. Isn't it? He took another bite. Sure. Except we weaponized it. He flicked a control panel. A new feed opened, spy drone footage intercepted from an alien scout vessel. A dozen species gathered, dissecting fragments of human tech left behind as breadcrumbs. They're trying to reverse engineer the decoys, Juno noted. They'll fail, Reese said. Because those decoys don't obey their physics. And when they break, it'll be our science that rewrites their understanding of what's possible. You're not afraid of them figuring it out? I'm counting on it, Reese said. Elsewhere, back in galactic space, the Council's emergency research station sat just outside the old Earth border. Inside, a team of elite scientists, Telen, Arvax, and Kothel alike, worked to unravel what had happened to humanity. They weren't getting far. This energy pattern is impossible, whispered Dr. Larrick, a crystalline Kothel physicist. Their planet didn't move. It unmurred. Like it's no longer attached to our dimension. Do you? No, Larrick said. I'm saying they stopped using it. Behind. From the back of the room, a new voice spoke. So we gave them exile, and they turned it into invention. All heads turned. Counselor Zaliq entered, unusually quiet. Can we reach them? Asked one Arvax biologist. Not without going through whatever they built. And it's alive. Their machines adapt. Every probe we've sent comes back scrambled. Some don't come back at all. Then why keep trying? Zaliq didn't be a lie. The Expanse, human research vessel, Janus Wakes. Somewhere deep in the folds of the artificial dimension, a research vessel the size of a small moon floated silently. Inside, a team of human scientists observed a test, a star being born from artificial singularities. Controlled collapse, mass conversion, plasma ignition. All done without divine intervention. Let there be light, one of them muttered. The star bloomed, golden and red, contained within a cradle of dark matter restraints. Applause followed, not for the light, but for what it meant. Humanity had become creators. Later that night, Reese stood alone at the observation deck on Eidolon Core. The stars, his stars, shone brighter than those he left behind. Rourke joined him. Was it worth it? She asked. He didn't answer right away. Then, they gave us exile thinking it was punishment. But all they did was take away the leash. You think they'll come for us? He nodded. One day. Not to destroy us, to understand us. That's when they'll lose. Rourke raised a brow. Why? Because curiosity makes you vulnerable. That's how we survived Earth. And Mars. And every war they said we'd lose. We asked too many questions. Then we turn answers into weapons. Rourke didn't smile. Then let's give them something worth fearing. The alarm didn't blare. It pinged. Soft, like a doorbell, as if announcing a polite guest at the edge of reality. Commander Elaine Rourke glanced up from her tactical interface. The bridge of Eidolon Core dimmed as proximity warnings fanned out in smooth waves across the holoscreen. Identify. Unknown vessel, said Adjutant Merrick. Non-human origin. Cloaking signature erratic. Approached via gravitational bleed-through. So, they found a crack. Rourke leaned forward. Let them in. A low hum reverberated through the core's massive structure as the human-made universe adjusted, realigning boundaries to allow a single alien ship through. Reality bent, welcomed the outsider, then sealed shut behind them. The vessel floated just outside the main docking ring, a curved blade of obsidian and silver, etched with glowing glyphs. It didn't look aggressive. It looked curious. Reese was already waiting in the arrival chamber. He wore his usual half-wrinkled suit and a lopsided smile. To his left stood Juno, sleek and amused as ever, holding a tray of coffee and chess pieces. You didn't tell Rourke? She asked. Not yet, Reese said, adjusting his collar. She's tactical. I'm hospitality. The ship docked. A hiss, a shimmer. Then, the air twisted, and from it stepped the alien. Tall, semi-translucent, with 3 glowing eyes and limbs that shimmered like water. It pulsed softly in the artificial air. I am Vorthalin, it said. I come as an emissary of the Council. I seek conversation. Reese didn't move. He just smiled. Welcome to the Expanse. I'm Daniel Reese. You'll want coffee. You will after 5 minutes with me, Reese said, already pouring a mug. Come on, Let's talk about why you're here and why it's already too late to stop what's coming. In the observation lounge, Vorth studied the artificial stars beyond the shielded wall. This place, it's not space. It's something else. A cage? A womb? Rhys stirred sugar into his mug. Think of it as a sandbox. We needed room to play. You broke from natural law, Vorth said. Bent dimensional thresholds. Build stars without mass. This is not science. It's heresy. We call it progress, Rhys said. You pushed us out. We moved on. Moved on? Vorth's voice gained a sharper tone. You constructed a universe. Do you understand what that implies? Yes. Rhys sipped his coffee. That we learned to stop asking permission. Vorth's body pulsed brighter. This was not the agreement. Earth was exiled to silence. You were meant to fade. Instead, you ascended. Rhys raised a brow. And now you're here. Which means something's scaring the Council. The alien hesitated. We detected resonance pulses, communication on frequencies older than time. From this realm. Rhys didn't deny it. We've been talking. Just not to you. To what? Rhys shrugged. To the universe. Turns out it listens. Meanwhile, Commander Rourke reviewed the visitor logs. He didn't tell me? She muttered. Of course he didn't. She stormed into the observation lounge, interrupting Rhys mid-metaphor about bowling balls and wormholes. Your guess, she said coldly, is Council intelligence. That's not diplomacy, it's reconnaissance. Rhys gestured. Vorth here just wants to talk. Rourke stepped close. I don't do talks. I do security. So let's talk about what happens if this conversation leaks to the Council. Vorth turned toward her. You misunderstand. I came alone. This is personal. That caught Rourke off guard. Explain. Vorth dimmed slightly, voice lower. We were wrong. About your species. We thought you were unstable, emotional, fragmented. But now I see. That we're worse? Rhys offered. That you are precise. Vorth replied. And terrifying. In the following hours, Vorth was escorted through the expanse. He saw synthetic planets orbiting heatless stars. He witnessed sentient machines that dreamed in fractals. He passed a park, just a simple park, with laughing children and mechanical birds, but the grass grew in Fibonacci spirals. It is all calculated, he whispered. Juno leaned in. We call it chaos with intent. In a secure chamber beneath the central archive, Vorth was shown the codex. Not a weapon, but something worse, a philosophy encoded into quantum crystals, human thought, refined into algorithms of expansion. You're preparing for war, he said. Rhys shook his head. Not war. Inevitability. You gave us exile, but forgot we're an apex species. We don't sit still. Eh? No, Rourke said from behind. You go back and tell them what you saw. Vorth hesitated. And if I don't? Rhys smiled, slow and calm. Then they'll come looking. Back aboard his ship, Vorth stared into the transmission lens, composing his report. They are no longer bound by physics, time, or convention. They don't seek destruction. They seek understanding. And that is far more dangerous. He paused. One last note, they smile when they talk. It's disarming. Do not be fooled. Then he left. In the command center, Rourke watched the alien vessel vanish through the fold. He'll tell them, she said. I know, Rhys replied. You planned this. I hoped for it. The Council needed to see us with their own eyes. Not in war, not in anger, just being. That's the fear. Not what we do. What we are. Rourke glanced out the viewport. What happens now? Rhys drained the last of his coffee. They'll panic. Sealed the chambers. The voice echoed coldly across the Council spire on Aurelian Prime. Ancient beings of unimaginable lifespans shifted in their gravity thrones, eyes narrowed and mandibles tense. The High Seer of the Varnak clicked twice and spoke through the empathic link. The human has returned. He says Earth survived exile not by hiding, but by evolving. A silence fell, unnatural, trembling with disbelief. Impossible, growled Commander HFY of the Threxan Dominion. Their sun was dying. Their alliances fractured. They had no future. High Seer Varnak responded flatly. They made one. The holoscreen activated. Vorth Alen's final transmission projected into the chamber. No theatrics. Just a solemn, direct report. The humans have created a self-sustaining universe. It is expanding. Intelligent, reactive, strategic. A construct designed for adaptive conquest. They have not broken any treaties, because they are now beyond our jurisdiction. Vorth's final words. Do not provoke them. You do not understand what they have become. In the hidden depths of the expanse, aboard the Eidolon core, Rourke watched as 39 alien probes blinked into existence near their perimeter. No warnings. Just presence. Subtle, she muttered. Merrick spoke without emotion. Probes equipped with dimensional analytics. Passive scanning. No weapon systems. They're watching, Juno added. And hoping we blink. Reese entered the bridge carrying 2 mugs. Coffee? He asked Rourke. She took one without looking. This is going to escalate. It already has, Reese said, sipping. But not how they think. The council met in emergency conclave. Arguments broke out between the Varnak, Threxan, and Ja. They've done nothing wrong, said Councillor Lyerziei of the Whispering Corps. No hostilities. No violations. Only creation. HFY. Varnak remained still. Fear clouds you. They are still human. Predictable. Contained. Contained? HFY barked. You didn't see it. Lyerziei folded in on herself. Then we go to them again. Formally. Learn the scope. Propose integration. HFY spat. Varnak's eyes glowed softly. Then we let them know the Council watches. Back on Earth, or what was once called Earth, now housed in the core of the expanse, Reese stepped into the vault. A chamber no alien had ever seen. Rows of devices pulsed in synchrony, artificial consciousness, harvested black holes, libraries written in particle patterns. At the center, the mirror engine. Rourke stood there, waiting. They'll test us soon. Reese nodded. That's why the trap is already laid. Her eyes flickered. You built it? He smiled. No. We did. Everyone they exiled. Every species they crushed. Humanity just gave them purpose. Rourke walked with him down the corridor. They think they're coming to observe. They don't realize they're stepping into our experiment. 3 days later, the delegation arrived. A council ship, a vast crescent of biometal and psychic glass, broke through the fabric of the expanse like a ripple in silk. No weapons active. Just observers. Reese, Rourke, Juno, and Ma. Protocol? Merrick asked. Smile, Reese said. Make them feel welcome. Then show them the door. From the ship descended 3 beings, Varnak, HFY, and Lyerziei. Their steps tentative, their gaze scanning everything. You invited us, Varnak began, though no one had. Reese bowed slightly. We allow those who seek knowledge. Come in peace, stay as guests. But understand, this is no longer your galaxy. HFY's man? Of course not, Reese said cheerfully. We're just advising caution. After all, this place responds to intention. Lyerziei tilted her head. It's alive? Not quite. But close enough to matter. They were escorted into the observation core, a chamber surrounded by fractal constructs, each one simulating entire civilizations in seconds. This is where we test ideas, Juno said. Social structures, economies, alien psychology. Yours included. HFY bristled. You simulate us? Reese nodded. Down to your heart rate. R. HFY. One end. The counselors said nothing. Reese smiled. You came to measure us. But we already measured you. Later, Varnak approached Reese alone. You understand what you've done. Built safety. Reese replied. You've also. No, Reese said. We ended stagnation. Varnak's voice softened. There will be factions who vote for containment. For war. And there will be no war, Reese said calmly. Because the first shot won't be returned. It'll be preempted. Entire star systems will vanish, not in anger, but in administrative efficiency. Varnak recoiled. That is monstrous. As the delegation left, HFY gave one final threat. If the council comes, it will come united. And you will be erased. Rourke stepped forward. Then come. Bring your fleets. Bring your rage. Just understand, we won't defend. HFY narrowed his eyes. Then how will you win? We won't, Rourke said. You'll lose. The moment their ship vanished, Reese turned to Merrick. Phase 2. Merrick activated the sublayer protocol. Across the expanse, thousands of probes detached and slipped into dimensional cracks, into real space. Quiet. Unseen. Each one carried a message. To the exiled. The abandoned. The broken. Humanity has built a place for you. Come home. The trap wasn't for war. It was for recruitment.